I mean, James Collins done fantastic because he seems to be, every time the ball gets in there now or comes in that final third, he seems to be rushing out and closing that space down, which is what you need.
Kit, let's take a greater look at that first goal anyway, because it was an awful start for Wales. It felt like a friendly game, and as you said, look at the defending here.
Again, you can see Littman in space playing the ball for him. I mean, a good save from Hennessy initially, but you know, the lad follows up and sticks it away. But it's poor play from us. I mean, originally it's getting inside Gareth Bale, but it comes from Littman and again getting too much time and space.
But originally, though, there's too much space in the midfield, isn't there?
Well, there is, certainly. I mean, again, you see Littman in here. He picks up that pocket of space off the back of.
So who should be closing Littman in down there then? Whose responsibility is that?
Well, I think we've got three centre halves against their two strikers. Littman comes very deep, so the space between midfield and defence was too deep initially. I think it's probably too deep for one of the centre halves to come out there. So then your deepest line midfielder, on this occasion was Aaron Ramsey, has then got to pick him up. But that's not his game, as we all know. Fantastic going forward, but lacks that defensive brain sometimes.
And perhaps that's the key, Nathan, because you've said, haven't you, many times that you think that perhaps Ramsey and Edwards, or maybe Bellamy as well, should be changing the role somewhat. Yeah, Aaron Ramsey doesn't do that.
Yeah, I just feel Aaron's just far more, productive further forward. We can get the ball and play and spread it all day long, but defensively he's not going to run back and knuckle someone. You need someone in there who can do that work for him.
So who in this formation and who in this lineup would do that? Would you be asking David Edwards or David Vaughan to do that?
I think Vaughan would have been a better choice. He's a bit more experienced, a bit older, and that's the problem. I think Littman's experience, and the young international players have never coped with someone like him before. He just seems to be one step ahead.
Ian Welsh in commentary has said that David Vaughan's having a terrific game, and he was instrumental in the goal, and it was a great run, wasn't it?
Oh, he was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, he did ever so well here. I mean, you see the ball being laid off there. Vaughan initially on the ball now. But what's great here is Simon Church makes his run back to come back onside, and Vaughan just continues his run. They try and hold a high line, but obviously against Bellam's pace, that's
and that's a delightful ball in, isn't it?
Fantastic, fantastic. That's a great run out wide, a great delivery as well. Just put into the space. Craig's attacking it at full tilt, and he doesn't miss opportunities.
They have to hold such a high line because they're so slow at the. You would think they're so slow.
You see here. I mean, that's Church laying it off. Originally, Vaughan now makes his run, but Church is offside. His run is very clever. He's offside and he comes back onside. You can see Bellas is also in an offside position, but not interfering with play. Now he's got the legs on the two centre halves. They're not catching him,
and they know that.
And as a striker, Nath, that's a terrific finish.
That's a beautiful finish.
John Toshak desperately wants the third place to show that there are encouraging signs and progress is being made, but he doesn't want to lose the game either, does he?
Well, every international match is so vitally important. Any international manager is under pressure from game to game.
Hassanen keeps the ball in play. This is promising for Finland, and they've scored. And it's the defender Niklas Moisander pushing forward on the left-hand side. He finished it well, with 14 minutes to go here. Finland have taken the lead, and possibly they've managed third place in the group at the expense of Wales.
Yeah, well, it's a deep run, isn't it? Very similar to the first goal. James Collins comes in there and sells himself, and it's a toe poke into that far corner. It's a soft goal, isn't it? But I think the game was going through that sort of period where, something silly was going to happen, and unfortunately for Wales, it's happened in their penalty box. James Collins should just control himself there a bit more, I think. Just sells himself, and all of a sudden, the full-back has got into